Welcome to the Hopcast.
Thanks for coming back, everybody.
I'm Brad Chmielewski.
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
And we got kind of a neat episode here.
This is a very themed episode. Yeah.
We got U.S. brewers meet European brewers.
Yeah, exactly. So we got a couple of collaboration beers. One from our hometown. The guys out at Two Brothers out in Warrenville. Give them a shout out. Have teamed up with Castelain out in France. And then we have Hair of the Dog out in Portland.
Right. Love me some Hair of the Dog.
Yeah. Getting together with the guys over at Proef in Belgium.
Right. So appropriate named. He's got one of his main beers is the Fred from the Wood, and this is the Flanders Fred rather than a Flanders Red.
Oh, I see what they did.
Yeah.
I see what they did. Very clever. So yeah, looking forward to both these beers. Some highly esteemed brewers went into all of these, so this should be a cool episode.
So we know that's a Flanders. What do we have here? Just an ale.
I think it might be like a Bière de Garde.
Bière de Garde. So we should probably start there because
I think so.
That Flanders is gonna
want to blow us out with all the acid up front.
Blow us out of the ass. Wait, what?
Blow us out with the ass, Sid. So yeah, let's start with Diversey and Lille.
We got a nice dark ruby wood clear beer here.
Yeah, kind of a dark coppery, a little bit of red, but nice and clear.
Yeah, that's great. And the head kind of went down here, but it was like billowy.
Yeah, nice. Good amount of carbonation in there. If you swirl it around, you get a nice fluffy head.
You just kind of smell it coming out of the glass as you swirl it around. It's just kind of, even though we're outside, it fills the room. It's toasty, malty.
Yeah, it's really about the malt bill on this one. From the aroma standpoint, you're getting kind of like a rounded malt bill character, some sweetness, some caramel, a little bit of toast, and then you got that French yeast strain.
Okay.
A little bit of tingle in there from that. But mostly malty.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
I love that taste. It's just roast malt caramel. It's like it's just delightful, I guess.
For me, it starts with the roast up front, but that like very, very rapidly changes into that caramely sweetness.
Yeah.
But not cloyingly so. It's very pleasant.
I'm trying to. I can't. It tastes like something. Just I can't remember. It just has a memorable feeling of some other drink. Maybe even like a coffee that's kind of not as bitter as a coffee, but has like that chocolatey and not toasty kind of warms you up and invites you to come in.
There's a lot of fruit going on from that yeast strain as well. There's a slight acidic quality to it, but it's very, very low. Really just kind of letting these malts shine through. Not much in the way in the hop character either.
Yeah.
It's just there for balance, but staying out of the way of everything else.
There's nothing offensive here. It's just, I don't know, it's just a nice beer. And coming in at 6.5%, I think you could just sit around and play cards or whatever just with this beer all night.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's just a well-rounded, really nice, well-executed, drinkable beer.
Yeah.
And there's a very cool story behind this beer too. The first brewery in Chicago was a brewery called Diversey Lille, and that brewery was a team of a Frenchman and an American. So we have the French Monsieur Diversey and the American Mr. Lille, and they combined forces. So kind of an homage, the American Two Brothers going out to the French Castelain, and and doing something together. And it just so happens that the brewery Castelain is near a town called Lille, so that's where they got the name Diversey Lille. So it's kind of a nod to Chicago brewing roots, and then also where this French brewery came from too. So
that's cool. And I wonder if our Diversey Street has anything to play in that Frenchman. Not so much the brewery, but I wonder if that was just a common.
Yeah, just a block north of where we're at right now is a street called Diversey in Chicago. So it's quite possible that street was named after Monsieur Diversey.
Yeah.
We could look it up, I suppose. If we were more prepared, we probably would have.
You got the encyclopedias? Or?
I've got the Wikipedias.
Even better. But this is nice, and Two Brothers is usually doing a lot of innovative stuff. They always have something going on. You're surprised when you see it, like, oh, what's this new beer? I thought they just did Dog Days of Summer.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. They've always been doing some French style of beers because one of their Domaine de Page is a Bière de Garde as well, and that's one of their year-round beers. So for them to kind of pay homage, and I'm sure they learned a lot about French brewing and that style when they went out there and did this beer with them. But they also certainly they said they dry hop it with American hops, so they're bringing their American attitude in. But yeah, it's very much, it tastes very much like a traditional French beer.
Yeah.
So nicely done.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna finish off this bottle and then move on to that Flanders.
All right, sounds good.
Alright, we had no problem putting away that beer.
Not at all. Very pleasant, nice malty, caramely backbone for a slightly chilly day here in September. So, but we're gonna move on to a blended beer from De Proef and Hair of the Dog.
Right, yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm kind of interested. The cork's like a little lighter color cork.
Yeah, I don't think it's actual cork. It's one of those
like
weird
plastic.
synthetic, little corks that they're using these days.
Oh,
Newfangled
nice.
corks.
So you don't fall in the beer and you get cork in your beer or your wine.
Yeah. They might create a better seal too.
Oh, cool.
So a little less porous.
All right, let's crack it open.
Let's do it.
Well, just pouring that out, you can almost smell the funk.
Absolutely. Getting a nice amount of sourness coming straight from just pouring the beer, which is exactly what I think we were both looking forward to. So.
And this beer, looks like a lot of head on that.
Yeah. Super fluffy, super carbonated.
I like kind of clear though. It's a little cloudy, but
I thought it may have been a little darker. But I guess I was kind of going into this thinking it was a Flanders Red, but it's really not. It's kind of like a blend of a couple weird beers.
Right. So does it say what it's a blend of, or
it's a blend of a Flanders lambic, and also Hair of the Dog Fred.
Fred. Okay.
So
he must have brewed Fred there to blend with it. So.
I would assume so, unless they get away with that legally over in Belgium. But I know you couldn't brew a beer and then bring it over to another brewery here in America,
right.
or at least in Illinois.
And probably for
convenience sake.
Yeah, convenience and cost, and just like why try to ship a beer that could get messed up on the way there.
Right.
So,
well,
yeah, it just smells barnyard funky.
Yeah, and not really that intense either. It's kind of a mellow funk too. Get some fruity sweetness out of it. But yeah, a lot of funky. Cheers.
Oh wow.
Deceptively acidic. Quite a bit of tartness going on, especially right in the beginning of the palate.
I wasn't expecting that because the barnyard was it was light, it was there, but it was more like a going pumpkin picking, and it's kind of like horses are there and you're on a farm, but not like dirty farm.
A dirty farm.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, this is one of those beers where the aroma really doesn't all too much reflect the flavor that you're going to get off of it, you know?
No. I don't think I've had Fred in a while, so I can't see the Fred in that. I'm just getting a lot of tartness
and yeah, and upon second sip, I think the tartness, maybe it was just a palate shock. It's a little bit more balanced at this point than first sip.
I guess you gotta. What's the rule? The 3-sip rule? You gotta let.
Yeah, there's 3 sips before you judge any or make any rash decisions.
Before you dump it down the drain.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but what makes Flanders red? Like, what's the style?
The style is a red beer that's from the Flanders region of Belgium, and it's that specific yeast that lives in the air in that region that actually ferments those beers traditionally. It's very much like the terroir for wine, where the grapes are going to be a little different if they're grown in this region as if they're grown in this region. It's like the yeast in this region is going to be a little bit different than the yeast in this region. And that goes for hops and malts as well. You grow them in different spots, but so it actually kind of goes across the entire world of beer, really. Even down the water. The water is going to be a little different in Brussels than it is going to be in Czech.
Right.
So, oh, easy. Tough crowd.
I know. He's like, I just like water.
So yeah, like all 4 of the ingredients in beer have that certain terroir to it: water, malt, hops, and yeast.
Okay.
So, yeah, just kind of like a lower alcohol red beer that is really nice and tart and sour. That's a Flanders. So.
Okay. And it makes sense that, I guess, Alan over there at Hair of the Dog would want to do Flanders and kind of do more sour, funky beers, because he's got the Michael, which I think that's a Flanders, or I think that's supposed to be a Flanders.
Right. And, if you get the opportunity to brew with Belgian brewers, why not do something a little funky?
If you're gonna go over there, go big, right?
Right. Right. So this is Proef has been doing these collaborations for a while now. This is actually the 6th in their series. I've been seeing these on I don't know how often they do it, but there's always.
Yeah. Do you remember some of the other ones? I know I
don't recall.
Them,
but the labels all look just like this.
Okay, I don't think I've picked up a bottle from anyone else that looks
It's
like
been
that.
years. I know I have in the past, but I can't really remember. But they're doing this where they pick a brewer to collaborate with in America, and they have this collaboration series. So kind of cool.
Man.
Good to see that they're still doing it too. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it takes a lot of planning and time, especially for a beer like this where it's gotta sit for months or. But
you never know if they have some of their Flanders already and they're just blending their 2 beers together.
Okay.
Or maybe they brewed Fred out there and then they blend with an existing Flanders. Okay. Is kind of how they make it seem on the label, but honestly, I don't know for sure. So.
But if you're doing a new Flanders, you did a Flanders, you sat for a year?
Fermented for a year, yeah. I think that's kind of like minimum you want to do is about a year.
So you never know, maybe these American brewers, they want to go there and do the whole process. Maybe come brew the Flanders, come back.
Maybe.
And
maybe it's been a couple years in the making. Who knows?
I don't know. Alan, you can let us know. We can come on. We can talk more about it.
Hit me up on my Twitter. You can text me at. Giving away too much information on the show. I'm not about to give my cell phone away.
You want to pull a Steve Sawinski? Shut up and give away your phone number. Well, cheers. I think we're gonna sip on this for a little while. It's tart and it's not a slam and head to the.
No, it's not. We'll put the beer pong cups away and just kind of relax. But yeah, a couple great collaboration beers. I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was kind of fun that you put together a nice theme here. Brad brought the beers. It was a good idea. American and European collaborations, and both the beers were fantastic. So
cheers, and thanks for watching.
Cheers.